Welcome to Meet JMT, Insights from Within, a series that introduces our industry professionals and provides them the opportunity to share their professional experiences, personal reflections, and sources of inspiration as individuals working in the architecture, engineering, and construction sectors.
Welcome to another episode of JMT's Meet JMT podcast series. My name is Matthew Miller, and I'll be today's host. Today, we're going to focus on two of JMT's brand values. We personally care about our people, our clients, and our community, and we empower and expect our employee owners to learn, grow, and contribute. Personally, I've been with JMT for 3 years and currently serve as a program manager and assistant office leader out of our McKinney, Texas office in North Texas. I am a 2023 ENR Top 20 Under 40 awardee for the Texas and Louisiana region, which is what led to my passion for helping develop an internal process here at JMT to identify deserving candidates and assist them in the process to submit their award nominations. Today, I'm joined by JMT's 2024 ENR Top 20 Under 40 recipients. This includes Kim Waters, an ENR Mid-Atlantic awardee, as well as Darren D'Achille from our ENR Mid-Atlantic region as well. We're also joined by Cullen Harper, a Texas and Louisiana region awardee, and last but not least, Brian Derr, who was not only selected as an awardee for the New York and New Jersey region, but also as a national Top 20 Under 40 recipient. So to start us off, let's say welcome to our guests and get some introductions going. Kim, if you'd like to start us off, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do here at JMT.
Sure. All right. Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm Kim Waters. I started with JMT in 2012, so I've been with JMT now for about 11 and a half years. My first role here was in our CMCI group. I acted as an office engineer for about 2 years on 2 highway bridge construction projects for the Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission. After that point, I transitioned back into the highway group for the Philadelphia office in 2014. And now I'm currently a highway project engineer acting mostly as a design lead on all kinds of different projects. In my personal life, I enjoy spending time with my husband and our daughter, who's about 1.5 years old now.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim. Welcome. All right, Darren, what about you?
Yep, sure thing. So my name is Darren D'Achille. I'm the aviation design section head here in Philadelphia. My experience in the aviation industry, I have about 15 years of design experience. All my professional experience has been with aviation. And here at JMT, I'm actually coming up on my 10-year anniversary this year. I've worked on quite a few different airports up and down the East Coast. I most recently focused a lot on PHL, BWI, Pittsburgh, and then some of the airports out in Ohio as well. The projects all revolve around the airfield, from runways and taxiways and other earthwork developments like that. Outside the technical work, I'm also involved in the ACE Mentor program. I also support our efforts in charitable organizations like the March of Dimes. And then in my personal life, I live in New Jersey with my wife and 4 children. For anybody that knows me, I'm a big fitness enthusiast. I like the outdoors, also coaching youth sports. And as of late, my favorite hobby has been camping with the family in our new travel trailer.
Very cool. Well, congrats on 10 years. That sounds like they keep you busy there at home. Cullen, how about you?
I'm Cullen Harper. I'm a project manager in Shiner, Texas. For those of you who never heard of Shiner, it's a small rural town of about 2,000 people in central Texas, but I bet you'll probably have heard of the Shiner Block beer, and it's made about 2 blocks down the road from us here in Shiner. So I joined JMT about 7 years ago. Most of my focus has been on highway design, and recently been working a lot on traffic control designs, telling the contractor and the construction crews where to put those barriers, where to put those cones at. On more of a daily basis, now kind of morphing into that project manager role, leading and coordinating with groups, kind of different design groups and different designers, not only in Texas, but also kind of throughout the JMT footprint, currently coordinating with folks in Ohio and Florida. Actually, a few years ago, about 5 years ago, I worked with Brian and Kim on a freeway expansion project in San Antonio. So first got to meet them 5 years ago, but meeting up here again was good. On a personal note, I like to kind of do anything outdoors. Actually, this afternoon, getting up for a fishing trip for about 4 days. Just like Kim, I also have a daughter that's 1.5 years old. So spending time with them and just enjoying that time with my family.
And expecting in the next month or so?
Yep. Might be my last fishing trip for a while. So expecting at the end of March. So
awesome. All right. Brian, how about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Derr. I currently work in our Trenton, New Jersey office. I started at JMT as a highway design engineer in September of 2014 at our Allentown, PA office. Transitioned to the Trenton, New Jersey office in August of 2019 as a senior roadway designer. In the Trenton office, I am the section head of the special projects section. What I do as that is I'm in charge of any non-typical projects that aren't straight roadway or straight bridges, larger highway design projects with a lot of interdisciplinary coordination. On the personal side, I'm a father of 2 kids. My son is 10 and my daughter is about to turn 8 in a couple weeks. Like Darren, I take a big role in coaching their sports, or at least the ones I can coach. So I coach soccer and basketball and baseball. Proud to say that last fall we won the U12 soccer championship with my son. After coaching those kids for like 5+ years, we came out with the win on top. It was pretty cool. And my daughter is currently into cheer, competitive cheer. So I am in my cheer dad era now, I guess you could say. So I'm going to cheer competitions every weekend.
Was that a Taylor Swift reference too? You're doing great.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, congrats to your son's team in spite of the coaching of making it to the top. So I know a big question we get asked is someone that's in your position that's being recognized as a top young engineer. Tell us about your roles and the people you've met along the way, how they've shaped your career. Kim, is there anybody in particular that's had a hand in your career and the success you've had?
Yeah, so there are actually 3 specific people that I think have played a big part in my career and where I am today. So, first I'll say it's my dad for always telling me that I can do anything that I put my mind to and supporting my decision to go to Drexel and study engineering. I'm also very thankful that he encouraged me to stick through that first terrible year where all the classes are extremely difficult and push through and just, see it through to the other side. I also want to give a shout out to Jim Maloney and Ed McMahon. They both took a chance on hiring me in 2012 when there were actually no open positions that kind of fit my very limited 2 years of experience at the time. But, they took a chance on me and I spent my first 2 years actually out in the field. I wouldn't have guessed that at the time, but I think being on those construction sites really gave me a lot of perspective and constructability insight that I wouldn't have otherwise had when I got back into the office to work on highway design. So I'm thankful to them for that.
It's great that we have leadership here that really tries to empower and recognize those folks that are doing the work. Darren, how about you?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have some common answers to what Kim said there, but I'll start out with my parents, similar to what Kim said, and really from 2 different perspectives. My dad, he was a union carpenter. He's retired now, but my family has a history of construction workers, mainly with the union carpenters. So I've always been around construction. It's something that's been interesting to me. He certainly, and both my parents encouraged me to go to college and look for a degree in the math and physics because I did very well with those in high school, and it was something I enjoyed. So I was able to pair, some of the things I enjoyed along with what my family tradition was and kind of led me down the road to engineering. And then for my mom, she's always very involved in the community and doing outreach, things like that, and kind of having that volunteer type mindset. And, that's something that when I think about civil engineering and the work that we do, how it really is giving back to the community, kind of looking backwards, paints a picture on how I landed in the career that I currently have. And then when it comes to the work, certainly here at JMT, I'm going to echo Jim Maloney as well. When I was hired here, he was our assistant office manager and has honestly mentored me ever since. And he's somebody that I see in our industry locally and then even regionally and nationally is a real leader that there's a lot to be learned from there. I also want to recognize somebody else, and that's my manager, Mark Tiger. He hired me about 10 years ago, and at the time I was his first hire into our design group. And really, ever since that time, he's given me opportunities, not just to work on some really exciting projects, but to also learn from all of his experience. He's now at about 35 years of experience in the industry. As a manager, really demands nothing, but by the example that he sets, he shows what the expectation is and should be. He's just somebody that believes in us, looks to build us up, helps us out in all ways possible. And, a lot of the experience that he's shown and the way he's treated me has really shaped my career in how I look to manage others as I continue to grow as a section head here at JMT.
Cullen, how about you? How have your roles or any people you met along the way shaped your career?
So I think I'd probably have to definitely just start with my family. Still the work ethic at a young age, growing up in kind of a rural part of the country. We had cows to take care of, and sometimes we'd be building fence or keeping track of the garden, so everybody always had a chore or something to do. I think that instilled kind of a good work ethic at a young age. Probably my dad influenced me even more, whether it was in school or sports. He'd always tell me to stay in there and pitch, keep trying. If you fail the first time, get back up and stay in there. I think that's helped me through high school, college, and, into my engineering career. And something else he kind of always said was work hard and play hard. Work hard when you're at work, but, we also have a good time whenever we're not working. And then something else that stuck is that work hard, then you're getting paid for, and jobs and promotions and everything else will come. So if you're doing a good job working hard, people are going to notice. And then, that extra, the things that recognition, pay, the things that we're looking for, they come if you're working hard. Kind of someone that influenced me to really go into civil engineering was a doctor down the road. He hired me and another guy to help build his house. I think I was 18 years old. So I did that for 2 years. That really got me interested in civil engineering. At JMT, I'd like to thank, Matt Warner here in Shiner and Kevin Kennedy for just giving me an opportunity and always throwing opportunity my way. And that's helped me be successful. Also at JMT, they invested me in the Lead People program. Went there to Hunt Valley, met a lot of folks from all over the country. And so they really invest in helping me grow in my career. So I appreciate that. Also, just have so many good folks in Shiner that I work with. And, we work a lot with the San Antonio office, and just those people alongside you, they really help you be successful, because it's not just the person at the top. You've got a good team behind you. And those folks in JMT, not only the engineers, but also, accounting, marketing, all those folks, also helping us out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Cullen. Brian, what about you? Who shaped your career on?
So I'm going to, echo a lot of other people said. Both my parents were educators, and they instilled a good work ethic in me at a young age, and that served me well as an entry-level engineer and still serves me well in my current role. With being an educator too, of course, that means I'm a big rule follower. So that's always helped me out as well. And to echo Cullen's words too, the JMT leadership classes, have been a great part of my journey, starting with the project management class and up through the lead people class. Those classes have helped strengthen my leadership skills and give me more insight to the processes at JMT and what JMT's mission is, and provided some great networking opportunities as well. So shout out to Kristen and her team for putting those trainings together for everyone, because those are really, really good opportunities for everybody to have. And, I've also had some very good mentors along my career, both, at my previous company and at JMT in both the Allentown and Trenton offices. I find that at JMT, put in the good work and the hard work, it gets noticed, and our leadership is really good at providing opportunities and retaining its talent. So, I think that's something that's pretty special about JMT and has helped me in my career here.
Yeah, I can echo the kudos to the learning and development team. We've got a great team here that supports a lot of that. So thank you, Brian. So being recognized as a top young professional is an incredible achievement, but it also feels a little bit like a transition point for a lot of us. I'm not sure if any of you are thinking about yourself as young professionals anymore, but Darren, given the experiences this early in your career, where do you envision going from here? What do you want to accomplish in the next phase of your career?
Yeah, so where I'm at right now, I had just recently gotten into this aviation section head role. So from my technical work, I'm really looking to not necessarily go into cruise control, but allow that to develop and really improve upon that and grow into that role. So I do see that staying somewhat similar as I move forward, working with our staff, hopefully growing the group. But outside of that, I've been involved, like I mentioned before, in some outside organizations. And in particular, I'm really looking to get involved in organizations that help to advance the technical aspects of airfield civil engineering. There's two that come to mind, ACC and AAAE. And they have some really good opportunities to get involved in committees that conduct research, put on trainings, and really help to support the industry on a national level. So that's something I've had my eye on for a little bit, and I'm hoping to get involved in that for sometime in the next couple of years and stick with that for some time.
Cullen, what about you? What do you want to accomplish in the next phase of your career?
So I've had some opportunity to work on some large, high-scale projects that are, noticed by a lot of the public. Some interchanges, that serve hundreds of thousands of cars a day. And so I've been a part of the team. I think eventually I'd like to lead a team to do some of these large, high-scale profile projects somewhere in the state of Texas. Kind of non-professionally, I think I'd like to get more people involved and interested in engineering. In a few weeks, we're actually going to meet with the local high school kids to kind of tell them what engineers do. Because, it sounds intimidating. What's an engineering? Kids maybe think, I can't do that. But I think, there's a lot of kids that, maybe need to understand what engineering is and what we do on a day-to-day basis. And that a lot of people that they do have the ability to be engineers, or if it's not engineering, other things, just to kind of help spread the word and help people maybe pursue the engineering field.
Yeah, we can certainly use more engineers. So I think that's a very valuable thing to be doing. Brian, what about you? What do you envision the next phase of your career?
I wanted to continue mentoring young engineers, which I've been doing for a while, but I think it's really important for us to help the younger engineers and the entry-level engineers understand what's going on, specifically as a lot of technology now is coming out. I find that the technology is sometimes getting in the way of understanding the means and the methods of what we're actually supposed to be doing, because the technology will just do it all for you. So we still have to make sure our engineers know what is actually going on with the projects and the processes. Also, moving forward, I want to help the Trenton office specifically become more successful with bigger clients. I think that's part of my role as a section head for special projects. And to that end, we were recently shortlisted on a mega NJDOT project up in North Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. We made our shortlist presentation about 2 weeks ago, and we're waiting on the results there. To bring that win home, that'd be really good for our office and for our team here in New Jersey.
Well, fingers crossed that we get good news on that soon. Kim, what about you? Anything you envision in the next phase of your career?
Professionally, right now, I'm really focusing on expanding just my technical knowledge base on bigger, more complex projects. I know design build projects tend to be pretty intense, but for some reason, I kind of love the pace of those. And, I'm hoping to move into a role where I can be a good resource for the company overall for projects like that. I've had the chance to work on 2 design builds at this point, including Hunts Point. And I've just really enjoyed that kind of work. Outside of the technical, I've always been really passionate about participating in professional organizations. I think I owe a lot of my personal and professional growth to participating in those and volunteering on different committees over the last almost 14 years. And I'd really like to pay that forward by bringing others along to those organizations and encouraging them to participate too, so they can reap those benefits.
Well, thank you. And thank you all. Thanks, Kim, Darren, Cullen, and Brian for taking the time to join us today. I know I can speak on behalf of the firm and reiterate how well-deserved the recognition is for all of you. This outstanding group will be honored in the ENR Emerging Leaders Forum in March, if anyone happens to see them. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed the Meet JMT podcast today. Remember to subscribe, post a review, and of course, encourage your friends and colleagues to do the same.